Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, April 12th.
It is.
It is. My volume. That's why I'm having fun.
And it's been a hot, sticky one, too, Scott. Just like they said it was going to be.
Really?
Oh, you're there. Turn 3 up a little, too.
Oh, my headphone volume's not working.
Oh, no.
I know. How about now?
I'm okay.
Not bad. I suppose we can get rid of this thing. There we go. Hi, guys. We're here. Show number 192.
192?
Yeah.
We're getting old, man.
Smokes.
It's like everything got quieter for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Your headphones working now?
Well, they work, but I have no volume control. Like
really?
Normally. Messing with your volume now, I think.
I heard that.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
You want Steve to plug you?
Tell you what. Here, give me that thing. Whoa.
I was going to say, you want Steve to plug you into a different port?
Here we go. Yeah, plug me into one of those back there.
You?
Sure.
You.
See if that works. Hey, that does. Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Apparently, we had too many things.
Ta-da!
Woohoo! All right. Welcome to the show. Show number 192. A lot of stuff going on tonight. Now I can actually hear what's going on.
Coming from the Ron Miller Race Cars Studio V2.
There you go. It's a Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway. Coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. I think there's still a few more minutes to get in on this week's Twitter poll, which was put up today because I was a little busy this week. You can also listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever. Check us out, hammerdownracingreport.com. On the show tonight, we have lots going on. We have Carter Murday is going to be joining us in a little bit. We have that guy right down there who is actually right there. Steve Miller is going to be joining us, talk about his recent late model success. There you go. There you go, Jerry. And then later on, Wil Wiggins will be joining us to talk about the Josh Neff Memorial at Sandusky Speedway this weekend. Big street stock race. I think it's
big money race.
Yeah, I think it's like 6,000 to win.
6,000 to win.
Woo!
Yeah, so
was it 1,200 for second?
It was a lot. It was 200 to start. I remember seeing that.
Somebody.
What's that?
Enough to spin somebody to win.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they encourage that there. But we'll talk to Will a little later on in the show about that. And like I said, Carter Murday, he's on a run recently. He's coming off of 2 consecutive sportsman feature wins. The youngster there, after taking a week off in between those wins. Well, actually, a few weeks off because the birthday race. But anyway, we'll talk to him in just a little bit. Plus, we got all kinds of racing news to cover. Make sure to get out to Oakshade Raceway this weekend. We're the fastest meet to race every Saturday night, and there's some cool stuff coming up. This weekend is going to be a Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series night. So
Attica.
Those are fun.
Same thing. But thank you, Steve. Next week, Dittman Motorsports Night. I was talking to Craig the other night. We're gonna have Craig on the show next week to talk about his runs down at Lima Land and this big Dittman Motorsports Night at Oakshade. He was supposed to send me the official information, so I'm not really sure what I'm allowed to talk about, what's been hashed out and what's still being worked out. So I guess I can say he's working on. There's going to be qualifying for the Bombers in addition to the late models. Increased purses for all classes: late models, sportsmen, Bombers, and compacts. So that's pretty cool. Then there's going to be like a hard charger award, and he's got a lot of things going, a lot of moving parts. He wants to make this a big deal. So we'll talk to him about that coming up next week on the show, and that's a week from Saturday at Oakshade Raceway.
That sucks. It sucks. It's got to be on Saturdays.
I'm
tied up on Saturdays.
That's what day they race, dude.
You made that decision.
I know.
You made that decision.
Well, hey, I didn't make it on my own. I tried to have input. I never got a response until after.
Oh, well. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs. From action shots to victory lane, they have all your favorite drivers, even your non-favorite drivers as well. Yeah, there you go. So, they have all the drivers.
We got to share the camera, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Don't want to get too close to you, though. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. Give them a call, 419-476-9978. That's 419-476-9978.
Yeah, before somebody comes on and yells.
Yeah.
They've got those cool calendars too. They put calendars.
Yeah, they're working on. I talked to Charlie about that. If you want a custom-made calendar of your car or your favorite driver, or maybe just 12 different drivers,
really cool.
They can put that together, and there's only a few day turnaround on it. I thought there'd be like a few weeks or something, but he can have those.
I wonder if you could have him make something with your not favorite driver, and during the year,
thought about that.
During the year, you could
put that right on a dartboard.
Yeah, throw darts at it.
Or 12 of your least favorite drivers.
Yeah.
Charlie accepts money. He'll
do
whatever.
it. Yeah. I bet you he'll even put a target on him. I think he has that ability. Don't quote me on that. I might be overselling him there, but he probably can. Also, thanks to Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, also sponsors of the show. And before we get to Carter Murday, you got some racing roundup action from this past weekend and throughout the past week.
Absolutely. Lima Land Motorsports Park wrapped up its season last Friday night with the annual invitational races. Todd Hireman picked up his first career Lima Land win in the NRA 360 Sprint Invaders. Jeff Kaz picked up the victory in the Invitational for the Northwest Physical Therapy UMP Modifieds. And Todd Sherman, the winningest UMP Modified driver at Lima Land, won in the Thunderstocks in the Invitational. So that was a little different, but that locked him into the King of the Quarter Mile for the Thunderstocks and the Modifieds, which sadly he wasn't able to double up, but he tried. Jared Horseman picked up the King of the Quarter Mile win in the NRA 360s. Mansfield, Ohio's Kyle Moore won in the UMP Modifieds in the King of the Quarter Mile race. And our buddy Craig Dittman picked up the King of the Quarter Mile win in the Bud Thunderstocks. He did a hell of a job. He was on a rail in the number 74 diesel.
And took home the big check.
The big check. You got it. I believe that was a $1,000 win for Craig there Friday night. So
they don't give out crowns?
Yes, and the trophy is like a 4-foot tall trophy with a big crown on it. And it's very, very cool. So, yeah.
I think it'd be better if they could actually wear the crown, and then you made them wear the crown.
See, I'd like that. We could crown them right on the front straightaway. Lots of people want.
There we go.
Lots of people want to crown Craig Dittman, from what I hear. I don't know.
Okay.
But boom. Moving on. Oakshade Raceway was in action with Casey Noonan leading flag to flag for his second late model feature win of the season. Dusty Moore finished second, and points leader Devin Shields finished third. Carter Murday, like you said, won his second consecutive sportsman feature event. Mike Jessen and Jesse Jones finished second and third, respectively. Colin Schilt earned another Bomber A-Main win of the year. That's his 8th of the season over Jeff Folks Jr. and Gabe Mueller. Corey Gum won another compact A-Main over Eric Carr and Joe Carr. Burt Sharp won the Bomber B, and Aaron Van Pelt won the compact B-Main. Flat Rock Speedway was in action with Steve Cronowet Jr. making it 2 wins in a row, leading the only lap that counts, the final lap, to steal the win from Harold Fair Jr. in the 50-lap ARCA Moran Chevrolet Outlaw Super Late Model event. Ron Allen took the ARCA R&M Recycling Late Model Sportsman feature. Jeremy Vanderhoof took his first win in the 25-lap ARCA DTS Drivetrain Specialist Street Stock A-Main, and David Hanna notched his first ever victory in the 15-lap Street Stock B-Main contest. At Fremont Speedway, Nate Dussel led midway through the 410A feature at Fremont, but lost the lead to Cole Duncan, but fought back to take the lead with 4 laps to go and drove to his second win of the season. Duncan held on to finish second. Points leader DJ Foose finished third. Matt Foose led all 25 laps of the Fremont Federal Credit Union 305 Sprint A-Main and drove to a dominating win, the 10th of his career at Fremont. Dustin Stroop finished second, and Sean Valenti rounded out the podium. In the dirt truck feature, Sean Valenti led the first lap, but Jeff Babcock slid into the top spot on lap 2 and held off challenges from Valenti lap after lap. By lap 5, Jamie Miller joined the front duo with Corey McCoy, adding to the excitement a lap later. McCoy took second on lap 10, with Valenti and Miller racing hard right on his rear bumper. Following a couple cautions with a handful of laps remaining, Babcock seemed to have things under control, holding on to a couple truck-length lead. However, Valenti closed with 3 laps to go and drove into the lead, coming to the white flag, and went on to his 4th win of the season and 65th of his career. just 11 victories shy of tying Art Ball atop the track's all-time win list.
That's
Babcock
pretty
finished
impressive.
second.
It really is.
Yes, because Art Ball, how many years did Art Ball race?
100.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe two.
at least.
Could have been 200.
So having your name anywhere close to him is a very impressive feat indeed. Babcock finished second. Jim Holcomb finished third. At Sandusky Speedway was in action. Andrew McCall took the Lubrication Supply LLC Renegade feature over Clayton Oliver and Kevin Jaycox. In the Precision Paving Pure Stocks, Dan Smith took another checkered flag over Johnny Newman and Kyle Lawson. Ethan Rosiska took the beginner stock feature. Jason Stanfield finished second, and Laney Jedley finished third. At Montpelier Motor Speedway, the UMP Modifieds, Dylan Nussbaum took a second victory in a row over Aaron Orr and Todd Sherman. In the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, Jacob Denny took the checkers over Chet Gerke and Aaron Leffel. Heisman Skeens took the Hornet victory over Jamie Razo and Kyle Drew, and veteran racer Glenn Bradley took the Superstock victory over Mark Wooten and Dan Wooten.
Yay.
Eldora Speedway was in action with a rain delay causing a late start to Saturday night's family fireworks night. Jordan Conover picked up the Superstock feature win over Craig Dipman and Andy Welch. Brandon Gibson Jr. took the Vors Compact Touring feature. Boy, easy for me to say. The Vors Compact Touring Series feature over Jay Orr. Eddie McGrew finished third. Kurt Spalding took his first ever Eldora feature win in the UMP Modifieds. Pole sitter Brian Rumlin finished second, and Dylan Woodling rounded out the podium. At Shady Bowl Speedway, we got rained out just after practice got started. Had a lot of fun hanging out in the pits. The guys hopefully getting ready to race, but we did get that rescheduled. I will be back in the compact this Saturday night at Shady Bowl Speedway.
I'm going to ask about that if you get another shot at doing that.
Yep, my buddy Jimmy McElfresh, who's letting me drive his car, is actually in the chat right now. Jimmy's actually putting together a heck of a deal for August 28th at Shady Bowl, a Wet and Wild 75, a 75-lap enduro race. Going to have some interesting elements to it, so jump on Shady Bowl Speedway's Facebook page for more information leading in the coming days.
Wet and Wild.
More about Lost.
Is that like wet track night at the go-karts?
It almost sounds like
it's going to be similar to that. Fans are going to be allowed to chuck. Water balloons are going to be involved, so it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to this. Going to be very cool. Going to be interesting to announce, I think, too. So we'll see how this turns out. But with that said, we'll move on here. The World of Outlaws Morton Building's late models, Jonathan Davenport found momentum on a lap 89 restart of the USA Nationals at Cedar Lake Speedway, thundering to the bottom of the track and muscling his way in front of Kyle Bronson to take the lead. From there, Davenport couldn't be touched, claiming the $50,000 prize for the second time in the World of Outlaws Morton Building's Late Model Series Crown Jewel event. Brandon Overton finished second, and Ashton Winger rounded out the podium. Winger took the preliminary feature win on Thursday's rained-out feature, and Cade Dillard took the regular Friday night's feature. Next up for the World of Outlaws late models, they're off this weekend for the North-South 100. They'll be back in action August 19th at Orange County Fair Speedway in New York, Williams Grove Speedway in Pennsylvania on August 20th, the Battle at the Border at Sharon Speedway on August 21st, and Erie Speedway in Pennsylvania on Sunday, August 22nd. In the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, Sheldon Hodenshield took the lead from Logan Schuhart on lap 6 and began his march into lap traffic at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 on Friday night, on the opening night of the Ironman 55. Hodenshield held off Brad Sweet, crossed the finish line 1.43 seconds back. David Gravel finished third. On Saturday night, Sheldon Hodenshield wrote the newest chapter in his book by topping an electrifying 55-lap feature that included 7 official lead changes, was his second Ironman 55 title, puts him in rarefied air with Craig Delansky and Rico Abreu as the only multi-time winners in event history. J-Mac, James McFadden, moved from 12th to 2nd, earned a KSE Hard Charger honors, with teammate Brad Sweet finishing third. David Gravel won last night's Brant Agricultural qualifying night feature during the opening night of the 60th annual NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Gravel started 6th in the 25-lap event and was third after the first lap and second on lap 4. David Gravel followed Justin Henderson into lap traffic on lap 17, and 5 laps later skirted under the Knoxville Raceway regular entering turn 2. Gio Selzy, who started 8th, finished 2nd, and 10-time Knoxville Nationals champion Donnie Schatz finished 3rd. Gio Selzy is leading the points at the Knoxville Nationals after last night, and we'll see how that stands after tonight's second night of preliminary action. The Nationals go from last night all the way through this Saturday. You can check that out on Dirt Vision. In ARCA Menards Series action, Corey Heim all but coasted to victory in the Clean Harbors 100 at the Glen Friday evening at Watkins Glen International. Heim took the lead at the end of lap 23 when Chase Briscoe was forced to pit with suspension issues. Austin Hill finished second after passing Ty Gibbs in the closing laps. Gibbs held on to finish third. Next up for the ARCA Series, the Henry Ford Health System 200 at Michigan International Speedway on Friday, August 20th at 6 p.m. on MAV TV and NBC Track Pass.
I got an email from Charlie about ARCA, I guess next Thursday, I think it is.
Okay.
They're going to have some of the ARCA drivers at the Henry Ford Museum up in Detroit, Dearborn, I guess.
Oh, that's pretty
and
cool.
They're going to have them do some kind of race simulator challenge with some members of the media. I don't think I can get off of work to go up there and do that, but I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, sorry.
No, you're cool. NASCAR action. Austin Hill controlled the middle stages of Saturday's United Rentals 176 for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Watkins Glen International and earned his second consecutive victory in a race that was shortened because of lightning. The race was red flagged with 11 laps to go, and after a delay of more than an hour, officials declared the race official. Hill kept regular season champion John Hunter Nemechek behind him to finish second, and Sheldon Creed rounded out the podium. Ty Gibbs continued to be one of the most impressive rising stars in NASCAR. The 18-year-old roared to his third NASCAR Xfinity Series victory of the season Saturday at Watkins Glen International after running down A.J. Allmendinger after losing the lead during a late race restart. Gibbs got a big run on Allmendinger with 3 laps left coming out of the inner loop to regain the lead. Allmendinger finished second, and Austin Cindric came home third. In the Cup Series, that one guy, I think you guys may have heard him, Kyle Larson.
Never heard of him.
Name ring a bell? He's
that
supposed
guy,
to be
that
some
guy's
kind of
lazy. He doesn't do anything.
Rookie kid, isn't he?
Yeah, real young rookie kid. Who's in action tonight at Knoxville Raceway as well.
Gets on an airplane, flies all over the country, and signs autographs. That's all.
Three wins this week.
Going for 3 tonight, I believe. Tonight he'll be at Knoxville to see if he can pick up his qualifying night at Knoxville. Going to be interesting to see how he does, because obviously he's got a lot of moving to do to get back to Michigan, right? They at Michigan on Sunday. Where were they at?
Indy this weekend, I believe.
Indy, yeah. So he's got to fly back. Yep, he's got to fly back to Indy. So he's going to be bouncing around a little bit this weekend to go for practice on Saturday morning and get back to Knoxville and then back to Indy on Sunday. So we'll see how he does.
He's going to be running the USAC, the BC 39. I got some news about that coming up a little later too.
He's kind of like Craig Dipman, though. He's made so much money in racing that he can afford to fly first class.
Right there, but charters his own planes. Anyway, that guy Kyle Larson continued his barnstorming campaign in the NASCAR Cup Series with his 5th victory of the season Sunday afternoon at Watkins Glen. Larson ran near the front of the field during the first half of the race, but didn't take control of the race until the third and final stage. He was able to bypass leader Martin Truex Jr. during a cycle of green flag pit stops on lap 57, which gave him the top spot for the first time. Chase Elliott, who had to start at the rear, roared back to finish second, and Martin Truex Jr. finished third. Next up for the Cup Series, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course this Sunday at 1 p.m. on NBC. The Xfinity Series will be in action in the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course on Saturday on NBC Sports Network at 4 p.m. And then the trucks will be in action in the Gateway 200 at Worldwide Technology Raceway on Friday, August 20th at 9 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. In NTT IndyCar Series action, instead of spin and win, Marcus Ericsson did a fly and finish first. And in Sunday's NTT IndyCar Big Machine Music City Grand Prix on the streets of Nashville, Ericsson was involved in a crash with Sebastian Bourdais during a restart on lap 5 that saw Ericsson climb over the back of Bourdais' car. The crash damaged the front wing of Ericsson's car, and he quickly made his way to the pits during the caution period to repair the damage. Ericsson took the lead with 22 laps to go and never looked back. Ericsson beat Scott Dixon by 1.55 seconds, and James Hinchcliffe finished third. Next up for the IndyCar Series, the first ever NTT IndyCar NASCAR Xfinity Series doubleheader. The Big Machine Spike Coolers Grand Prix will be run before the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, August 14th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course at 12:30 p.m. on NBC Sports Network. In other notes, Rusty Schlenk made a last corner pass to win the 33rd annual Wood Tick at Merritt Speedway on Saturday night. Big D's Pizza was well represented at Wayne County Speedway in the Don and Hans Gross Memorial on Saturday, with Devin Moran leading every lap for the victory, with Chubb Franks second and Ryan Missler coming home third. Kyle Larson won his second front row challenge title with a thrilling drive on Monday night at Southern Iowa Speedway. The victory was worth $21,000 on
He
lap
needed
15. Larson, yeah, obviously hurting for money, so glad to see him pick that up. Larson shot around Darren Pittman in turn 2 to take second, and then rode the cushion around pole sitter Brian Brown to take the lead. On a lap 18 restart, Brown put a slide job on Larson to take the lead back, but Larson was able to get back by down the backstretch and went on for his second front row challenge title. Brian Brown finished second, and Carson Macedo in the Jason Johnson Racing 41 finished third, and that will do it for this week's Racing Roundup.
Spectacular. Speaking of Big D's. Super duper. Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more on Clyde. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. You can order online. Do it right now if you got an extra phone or computer so you can still keep us on. Order BigD'sPizza.com. Big on taste, not on price. And coming up, your chance to win a Big D's Pizza a little bit later with how many?
Dean left a message in the notes over there.
Devin Moran will be in the big state of Michigan. I guess Devin Moran's going to be running the Hill Tour next week.
Ooh,
pretty cool.
Exciting.
Jerry, did you happen to see Rusty Schlink's last lap pass? Did you see a replay of that?
I did not. I need to go.
Oh,
was it
my?
Yeah.
Oh,
he drove by the outside of turn 4.
It was a hero or zero move, and man, did he look great.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that for Rusty. He's one of those guys that you can't help but like. Has a great attitude about racing. Comes out, always puts on a show, is always gracious to his fans. You can't help but like the guy.
Eric Spangler had led the whole race. Rusty closed in on him on the white flag lap. Lost a little bit coming off of turn 2 and really hauled it in turn 3 and railed around the top. And I think it was, 5/100ths or something.
Oh, my God.
Pretty close.
It was very, very close.
That's cool. That's
and the announcers were going nuts. The fans went nuts. It was a well-received win.
We got Carter Murday waiting in the wings here. We're going to bring him in just a moment. Have to give a plug to Real Geese Silhouette Decoys as well. The most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced, and they're manufactured in the U.S. Check out realgeese.com or call 419-800-8100 and check out some of the Real Geese clothing and gear they have on sale on their website as well. RealGeese.
If you want to,
or you can get the decoys. You can get both.
Now, Geese apparel. Now, is that for people, or is this dressing up somebody's goose?
I suppose if you get something small enough, you could put it on somebody's goose.
Okay.
My mom likes to dress up her goose.
I see.
That she's got on her.
I think that's too much.
Somebody stole her goose
That's
once.
too much information, Scott.
Yeah, she doesn't have it on the front porch anymore because the goose thing with the clothes, they're very popular down in the area she lives in. It's a weird thing. Anyway, let's talk to Carter Murday.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. This is going nowhere.
Carter, how's it going?
Hello. Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Great.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Congratulations on your last 2 features you've been in have been feature wins.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, we were just talking about Rusty. I believe you run a Domination race car chassis.
We run his 2017 car. We're looking to try to get a Domination here in a couple years.
Okay. Well, the 2017 car seems to be working pretty good for you.
Yep.
It's got all of Rusty's updates, right?
Yep.
So what do you attribute to your reason? I mean, you've been running competitive all year long, but I mean, what's pushed you over the top to get those last 2 feature wins?
This year, just me and my dad, we really haven't tried to scrimp on anything this year, and it's paying off. Really, it just sucks that I took that long to show it, but it's starting to come around, and Rusty got it set up pretty good. Starting to move right through there.
Well, Rusty Smith, he's got how many feature wins does Rusty Smith have?
I think
like
7? 6 or 7.
Yeah. So I mean, to beat him, I mean that's got to be a pretty big feat in and of itself.
Yeah. It's great when you can go out and compete with guys like Rusty and a veteran like Mike Jessen and running consistent with them.
And Mike's been running real well lately.
Yeah, he's come on strong. Where did he finish second this past weekend?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I was playing with headphones when you were talking, Jerry. Sorry. I figured out why it wasn't working too. You didn't have it pushed in all the way in
Really?
the back.
I thought I felt it snap in. Oh well.
It's all good now. Anyway, So, how many years you been racing now, Carter?
We started in the compacts in 2015, and I think we did that for 4 years, and then this will be my third year in the sportsman.
Okay. And when you started out in the sportsman class, did you think it would take a couple years to get success, or I mean, did you come out?
Definitely. We started with a '01 Rocket, and we ran that the first year, and that thing would push and couldn't control that. But then we broke it the first night of 2020, and then took us halfway through that year to get the car ready from Rusty. And then last year we kind of was just working things out with it, and then this year we try to crank it up a notch.
So, so how big is your dad in influencing your racing or working on your car?
Oh, he's there every day, every second of it. He's the one that got me into racing, and couldn't do it without him.
I watch some of his Facebook Live videos of your races, and when you go by, I think he's trying to give you hand signals sometimes because he kind of drops the phone and then you can't really tell what's going on. It's like, come on, I'm trying to watch what's going on here. So maybe you could talk to him about that.
Yeah, he always tries to tell me to get down.
Carter, what got you into racing? Were there racers in the family, or you just saw the compacts and thought maybe that'd be fun, and you guys did it?
Well, really, I didn't go to the track. I didn't like racing until I was about 9. And then we went all year, watched every single weekend when I was 9. And I told Dad I would like to try it. And he bought me a compact for the next year, and then just kind of took off from there.
Does he have any desire to get back in a race car, or is he fully just behind you supporting your racing?
I don't know. He says he's done, but I've been trying to get him to get back in a car. I like watching him race.
So have you ever you've never actually competed directly against him then?
No. One time in a compact, he ran somebody else's car, and that was one of the funner races I've had, actually.
So who won that? I don't remember.
I don't know. I know I didn't
who finished
win it,
who finished ahead of the other? That's what I meant. Did you beat him? Okay.
Yeah.
So did you talk smack to him after that, saying, "Yeah, kick your ass"?
The one time in Kalamazoo, we went to Kalamazoo on an asphalt track, and we had to qualify. And his class didn't have to have a restrictor, and we was both in the same car. And mine had a restrictor, and I just beat him in qualifying by a few thousandths, and he got a little smack talk from that one.
Nice. So what was coming into this year? What was your goal as far as where? I mean, do you think you would get feature wins? Were you going for the championship? What was your goal coming into this season at the beginning?
We was going for the championship. I think we was about 5 points off the leader early in the season, and then we got 3 DNFs in a row, so that kind of killed us. When you're racing with Mike Jessen and guys like that, they haven't finished outside the top 5 all year, so it's hard to make up points once you get that far back. But now that we got 1 feature win, well, 2 feature wins, I'm going to try to get 5 for the season. I feel like that would be good.
That was good. That was going to be my next question.
That's a good goal.
What your goals are now that you've adjusted? You just win the rest of the year. That's pretty good. I mean, why not? I mean, you've won the last 2. You've got.
Yeah.
It seems like you got things figured out with the car. Is any problems with it? I mean, are you guys doing anything to make it even faster?
No, we're kind of just cruising it out right now, and I don't know. I think we might try to throw some big tires on for the last race of the year and see how we can do with that. But
does that mean you're going to go topless?
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
Run with the late model. Have you run with the late models yet?
I did in the birthday race at Oakshade.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
I was happy with that, and got to run up next to Colin Shipley and guys like that. So if I can do that on the Hell Tour, I want to see how I can do on a regular night.
How big of a difference is it throwing the big tires on there and running with the late models than it is just running with the Sportsman?
It's a big difference with the tires and everything. It's just a whole lot more grip, and it's really way faster with the big tires on.
Carter, do you have any thoughts of hitting the Summer Nationals when they make their Michigan swing?
I think we're gonna go to Butler, and I don't know about Tri-City or not, but we might go to that.
Speaking of running late models, is there any plans in the future to go, full bore into the late model class?
I don't know. We'll have to see how the last race goes, but it's just a whole lot of money going late model racing, so we're just gonna see how it goes.
Well, if you're like Rusty Schlenk and you pass people off the last corner and win, what was it, 33,000 for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
33,033.
Oh, 30. Wow. Even better.
Or 10 grand, 333 for second second place.
Man. So, what do you see yourself doing next year? Then you could think another season in the Sportsman, maybe some late model races here and there, or you haven't even thought about that yet.
We've been kind of throwing around the idea of going late model, but if we did go late model, we couldn't afford a big motor, so we'd probably just get us some aluminum heads. But I don't know. I'd like to be competitive when I jump up to late model, so I don't know what the plans are.
Well, you're definitely competitive in the Sportsman class, and I mean, you're still young too. What, you just turned 17, didn't you?
Yep, just last week.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And you're giving these guys that have been running the Sportsman class for as long as I can remember, like you mentioned, Mike Jessen, Rusty Smith's been there forever, and this new kid's in town. Do you feel like you've had to earn any respect from those guys, or have they welcomed you in as like, this kid, he's pretty good, he's beating us? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like to be cleanest driver as I can be, and I don't really like getting into people, and I think that helps. I ain't really had too many problems with anybody in the class, really. They all seem to give me respect, and I'll show them respect back.
I haven't really noticed any real issues in the Sportsman class this year. Everybody's been, well, I guess there's a couple issues, but nothing too bad up front there. So,
yeah.
You got any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely Rusty Swink Race Cars, Chris Keller Race Cars, and Lightning Quick Gas Stations, Pity Crew Pet Grooming, Burdock's Automotive, and North Coast Provisions, and that's it, all of them.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we definitely wish you luck. And I don't know if you've watched our show before, but a lot of times our guests come on.
What do you mean a lot of times, Scott?
There's been a few that it hasn't worked out.
The percentage is way up here.
Darn near every time.
And that's why I try and get people that have won features and are on a hot streak to try and keep that trend going. But
no pressure here.
They tend to go on and win their next race. So no pressure on you, but Saturday night.
Hopefully we won't let you guys down.
Don't disappoint us.
Well, we got a few guys. We got Steve. He's going to have to. He won a heat race on Saturday, so he's got to win the feature now too. No pressure to either. But anyway, good luck on the rest of the season too. We hope to see you back in Victory Lane maybe 5 more times. And I'm sure your competitors are hoping the opposite. But what happens.
Thanks for being with us, Carter.
Thank you guys for having me.
Carter.
Yep. See you, Carter.
Yep.
So why doesn't that work in reverse, though? I mean, if your guests go on and tend to win a race, why can't the host go and win a race?
Yeah, we should be winning every week.
Yeah.
Right?
Just saying.
Yeah, why doesn't that work?
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's
terrible.
That's why we do this.
None of the 3 of us. Wait a second.
Thanks for pointing that out, Steve. Way to bring us down. Major bummer there.
Hey,
well, that's what's that. We're passing all of our luck on to you guys.
Just mute his mic, will you?
You did have a good.
Oh, can't hear you. What?
Hey, you did have a good run last week, Scott.
Yeah. Thank you. Get a little bit closer to that mic there. We're going to talk to you here in just a minute. Going to go over a little bit of our racing news here before we get to Steve Miller. After the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event at Watkins Glen, NASCAR officials disqualified the number 18 Kyle Busch Motorsports entry driven by Chandler Smith because the truck failed the height requirement after the race. The DQ didn't affect Smith's spot, though, in the playoffs. That was the last race of the truck regular season before the playoffs. So could have had some major implications, but I guess he was already locked in. World of Outlaws and dirt car officials have reinstated late model driver Tyler Erb. I had almost totally forgotten about this from last year. He was serving a suspension from an on-track incident back in August 8th of 2020. Erb will be allowed to return to World of Outlaws and dirt car sanction events beginning Wednesday, September 1st, provided he applies for a dirt car license. So I don't know. You think we'll be seeing Tyler?
Well, I don't know. You know, maybe
Tour races, or
maybe that'd be his final stick it to him and go somewhere else. I don't know.
Sad news. Veteran radio and television broadcaster Bob Jenkins, former voice of the Indianapolis 500, inducted into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame in 2019, died on Monday at the age of 73 after a fight with brain cancer. Is that what he had? Yeah.
Sad.
I know it was cancer, but yeah. The voice of the Liberty, Indiana native network, serving several positions, was heard globally over 5 decades on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway radio network, serving several positions. Jenkins was one of only 4 people to serve as the television play-by-play announcer in ABC's 54-year history of broadcasting the Indy 500. Jenkins was one of the first on-air employees of ESPN when it launched back in 1979. Do you remember that, Ron?
Yes, I do. He was a great announcer. He really was.
Yes, he was.
For more than 20 years, he was the lead voice of NASCAR races on ESPN, occasionally ABC as well, including the first 7 Brickyard 400s at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Along with his NASCAR and Indianapolis Motor Speedway work, Jenkins anchored for the Indianapolis-based company that produced ESPN's popular Thunder Series broadcasts of USAC Sprint Car Racing and Midget Series races. And he was the host of Speed Week on ESPN.
Seems like I remember him on MRN too back in the day.
I don't know, his voice was everywhere.
Yeah,
real distinct voice and real humble guy too. So
Yeah.
you could tell that he did his homework.
Yes, unlike me.
Absolutely.
So that's why he's
Scott Wing It Hammer.
There you go. In the Pro Modified feature, a scary fire broke out at Macon. I believe that was Macon Speedway. Billy Justice Jr. and Chris Irwin tangled in turn 3. They rolled down the banking there at Macon Speedway on Saturday night. Justice's car burst into flames, and a dude ran from the infield to try and help, and he caught fire himself. And
did you catch a clip of that with him rolling?
As a matter of fact, I had the link in the private chat here, and I was going to bring it up, and now the link is gone. The link to the video.
Okay.
So I guess I'm not going to show that. But so anyways, this guy, it looks like around his feet, jeans caught on fire, and he stopped, dropped, and rolled, put the fire out, and he ran right back to the fire. And then the guys came in with the extinguishers and put the fire out real quick. Everybody was okay. So
we had a fuel-related accident at Limeland last Friday. Sean Dancer in the opening lap of the Invitational tangled with Todd Hireman. Hireman was able to continue on, but Dancer spun and slammed fuel tank first into the turn 2 wall, and spray went straight up in the air. We thought, water behind the fence. It was actually his fuel cell rupturing, and
wow.
Luckily it did not catch, but it was a very scary moment. Sean had to be helped from his vehicle, did suffer a concussion, was taken to the hospital for overnight observation, but is fine now and home. So forgot to mention that when you put together your prep this week, but glad to have Sean Dancer back on his feet after a nasty accident at Limeland too.
Kyle Larson, we'll wait on the Kyle Larson thing. Ken Schrader, he's going to be back in town tomorrow night to run another school bus figure eight at Toledo Speedway. I went to my first school bus figure 8 was his first one in watching it, and I still remember that he's like, "You got to drive like an asshole."
Yep.
I think he figures it owes him one.
Maybe. He didn't sound happy about it actually after that race. I was surprised to read that today.
He's a
they
racer.
Must be paying him good. I don't know.
He's a racer, man.
I think he gets appearance money at least, so that might help.
Bet.
Yeah. Kyle Larson, he dampened the spirits of all the other USAC driven to save lives BC 39 entrants after announcing his intentions of competing among the other 76 entrants that have already registered for that event. Larson has 23 USAC National Midget Feature wins. Other entrants in the BC 39 include Buddy Quofoyd, the 2019 winner, because they didn't have it last year due to the pandemic. So the last winner was Zeb Wise back in 2019. Chase Elliott's going to be in it. Brady Bacon, Connor Daly from IndyCar, Chris Wyndham, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Newman, Tyler Courtney. So it's like another
who's who.
Yeah,
but Buddy Kofoid has been the man in midgets this year, so that could
Yes,
be
he
very
has.
interesting seeing him versus Larson. So
yeah. How big would that be for him to beat
Oh,
Larson
boy.
and all these
Oh,
other
my
guys? I
gosh.
mean, holy crap!
the list there is just amazing.
By virtue of winning last year's iRacing World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model World Championship, Hayden Cardwell earned $10,000. You know what he's doing with that money? Jerry knows.
What's he doing with that money?
He took that hard cash and invested it in something tangible, an actual late model.
Really?
That
Yeah.
dude
So,
is
that-
a
so-
stud, and not just in the late models on iRacing, in sprint cars. Every time I've seen him race, he's one of the top three, and that's going against guys like Alex Bergeron, who's a 3-time World of Outlaws champion in iRacing. So yeah, congratulations to Hayden, and going to be exciting to see him behind the wheel of an actual late model.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's one thing I guess iRacing is good for. Now I want some bacon, some
Funding a
Brady
race
bacon.
car?
Yeah. Yes, funding a real race car. I like that. Steve Miller joining us. Steve Miller, the son of co-host here, Ron, and these
Yeah.
guys race each other on the track quite a bit.
You know, he's been my son for nearly,
Almost 50 years.
yeah.
Holy cow! So how long? Let's a little bit of background. How did you start out in racing, and how did you get up into the late model class, Mr. Miller?
I mean, I started. We built a car. We built a car for Oakshade, and way
What kind
back
of car?
as a bomber.
Okay.
And this is early, probably 88, 89. And I was probably like 15. We built a car, and we got to the end of the year. The car never got done. So we went to Toledo Speedway, raced it 3 times, and then we ended up selling it. And then I bought another car and never really finished it. And then another, and it needed a lot of work. And then another guy's like, hey, you want to race my semi-late? So this is like 89, this is 90 and 91.
Yeah.
90,
Early
91.
90s.
So I raced that car for 2 years in the semi-lates, back when they had the semi-late division. And then I getting married, kids, took a break for a while, and jumped in the Casey engineering car for a few years.
For Mark Kackenmeister and Fred
For-
Kackenmeister.
for his dad. Raced that for a couple years, and then that was kind of be too much of a work, organizing everything, and he wanted to scale down and just race bombers. So I was off for a few years, and we had a truck in there for a couple years, somewhere mixed in that, and took a few years off, and then got a divorce, and then, hey, let's go racing again.
So when did you start with the late model and running consistently?
Probably about 7 years ago,
Okay.
I believe.
Now is that the car that you're running now? Is that the same car you started out with 7 years ago, or?
No, I built this one. I think there's a 4th season on this car. I raced the other one for like 3 years, and then I'm like, hey, let's build a new car.
Did this guy help you at all?
He helped a little bit. Well, for the most part, here's the book, and here, and then bend everything up. So it was like I had to have his help, like holding stuff up, and how actually do you make this bend work? So I built most of it myself, but I had a lot of mostly all his notebook.
So what was the first time that you and him raced head to head that you actually beat him?
Never.
I believe I got Sandusky at least once, and I know he won
I remember there was Mid Michigan at the corn harvest. I think I know there's somehow I got by you or something, and
Really?
yeah, there's
Somehow
a
I don't
picture.
remember that.
There's a picture of it.
selective memory.
There's a picture on my Facebook.
So how excited were you to beat him for the first time? Was that a big accomplishment to you, or was that just
I mean, I've helped him out. I mean, I've cheered him on ever since I've been like 2 years old to even know what racing is, and I cheered him on watching him. Hey, let's go! And then in the early days helping them out. I mean, I was basically the crew chief on the car and taking care of stuff, and so it's like now we're actually racing heads up, and I'm actually kind of getting ahead a little bit.
Steve has turned into a good fabricator and innovator, and he builds a lot of things that seem off the wall at the time, but they work very well. So I'm really proud of that.
So what do you attribute to being more competitive in the recent seasons here? And I mean, you got sixth in the feature on Saturday. You've been running pretty competitive each and every week.
Well, like one of the memes on Facebook, when you are complaining about other people, they're cheating, they're doing this, they're doing that.
Are you cheating?
No.
Okay. Just I had to ask.
I think everybody's cheating.
Okay.
But it's like, do they care? No. I mean, it's all body rule stuff, and you take it as far as you can. But I mean, as far as like cheating, there's nothing really to cheat about. But on the meme says that if you're complaining about other people cheating and all that, you're not looking at your car. And any chance I see a video, I see a picture, I'm looking at the car, I'm trying to think of what it's doing. What can I do to make it go faster? And on a limited budget, if I can't make it go faster, we're throwing money at it, I'm going to design a part to make it go faster.
Now, what do you do that's different from what Ron does? Is there a lot? Is that a laundry list, or?
Oh, there's a laundry list. I mean,
do you try and get him to do what you do? I've
been trying.
What's working, and
I've been trying to.
Is he stuck in his ways? What's the deal?
Time.
Oh.
Time. Same answer from both of us.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to do something on the front end of his car. You just don't have time to get out of the trailer and work on it. Maybe there's 20 other cars to work on during the week. So
do you consider yourself a low budget team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I try to get by with what I have, and if I can't,
when's the last new tire you bought, Steve?
I bought one for the birthday race because I knew we were going to be on the same left rear the whole night, and I bought two at the beginning of the year.
Other than that, he's buying some of the front team's takeoffs.
Gotcha. So what does it take for a low budget team to actually? What would it take for a low budget team to win a late model feature?
I mean, it's a lot of tire prep. I mean, tire prep is huge. I mean, you got to do tire prep. You got to have a good notebook, and you got to be at least talking to some of these other teams with similar setups and what they're doing. I mean, I can't thank Rusty Schlenk enough. I mean, he helped me on a rear setup that I'm running on his car, which is kind of similar to what he's running. But you gotta be.
Rusty seems to be a popular guy on the show tonight.
Well, he's very open. You know, if you want to know something, either ask him or go look at his stuff.
He's kind of like you. You're pretty open.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. You didn't win the $33,000 wood tick thing though, either.
I didn't go either.
Well, if you were there, you probably would have won, right?
Yeah.
We watched it on TV.
That'd be my thought.
We got home from the Oakshade and turned on the TV, and there it is. I'm like, oh, cool.
They were just pulling out for the green to go green.
Now, both of you guys are top 10 in points, aren't you?
Yes.
Where are you at in points?
I'm 7th right now, and he's 8th.
You're that close to him.
Yeah.
No, you've had some bad luck. I mean,
I started the year with some real bad luck, and
62 points separate
62
those
points.
two.
Gotcha. What was your goal at the beginning of the season?
Top 10, top 7-ish. Try to break into the top 5 more often.
Okay. Are you happy with your performance so far?
Performance, yes. Results, no. I mean, the first week I was running top 5 and something. Oh, the fuel pump loosened up. It's not my motor. It's Don's motor. I don't know anything about it. I didn't know of anything issues with it. Racing in the top 5, all of a sudden on a caution flag, the motor quit. End up being the bolts loosened up out of the fuel pump. Never heard of that. Never seen it happen before. So as Tool and I drilled it out, helicoiled it, and took care of the problem. Make sure it hasn't happened again.
Okay.
And then I had another week leading the heat race by a few car lengths and pretty much checked out. And trying to hit the nice little wet spot out of turn 4, and I think I broke a bolt, and then next lap spit out of the dry shaft.
Yeah, that doesn't work too good.
No, there's been a couple other hiccups that I haven't really gotten the finish that I'd like, but the car's been fast.
What about the Lightning McQueen thing? How did that come about? Why did you decide to make your car look like Lightning McQueen?
Well, my dad kind of bounced it off me one time, and I was building the new car, and we're about the point where we got to decide of what color we got to do the car. And then he's like, well, what about Lightning McQueen? And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Lightning McQueen is number 95. I'm number 95.
That's true. You do.
If I build a red car, my dad will never want to race it.
That's it.
How much fun has that been to see the response from the young fans when they see your car looking like Lightning McQueen?
Oh, even on a bad night, and you have kids come over and they're like, "Oh, we want a picture of the car." It's just awesome. I mean, it's
And now you have the T-shirts.
got T-shirts.
What's the response been on the T-shirts?
Oh, I mean, actually, I thought we'd sell more kids shirts than we have. We still have quite a few kids shirts left, but
Sold out of 2XLs.
2XLs, almost.
Those aren't kid shirts.
Almost out of XL. We're getting close on XL. A lot of larges, a lot of kids left. We probably should have been in. My girlfriend Mary's been helping taking care of the shirts. She probably should have gone to the other side because Danny Schlenk sold really well on birthday race.
There you go.
So we probably missed an opportunity there, but we still have quite a few shirts left if someone wants some.
The kids' shirts are really cool.
Yeah, and there was a company in Toledo. It was right on Alexis, right by Jackman. They did the shirts. I thought they did a heck of a job on there.
Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I mean, there's DAS Engines. There's Ron Miller Race Cars.
Woohoo!
Graphic Signs. And I got to give a shout out to Rusty Schlenk for some of the notes that he's given me. I mean, I couldn't have been where I'm at without some of his notebook that he's kind of helped me with. The notebook being in the back of his head. Hey, you need to do this.
All-Star Racing Products throws us a few bones.
All-Star helps us out.
So, what's your long-term plans? I mean, you're gonna keep doing this late model thing? Are you gonna be like Ron here and just keep doing it until it's not fun anymore? Or
well, as long as I'm being competitive,
that makes it more fun.
We'll try to keep
being
it going.
competitive.
I mean, last week I was running right with cars that run in the top 5 every week, so I mean I can run right with them. It's just trying to get everything in order, and it's a learning curve.
Is there a point where you can put a finger on where you've seen things change for your team, where you got faster and really started to see the improvements?
Well, last year we really worked on tire prep and tire management. That started everything, and we made some chassis adjustments on about the 3rd week, and that really turned things around with the car. I was chasing an issue where I was pulling the left front like a foot in the air, and I was throwing everything in the book at it for the first month, and we changed some stuff around, and then we changed something else, and then like, oh wow, this is really starting to work out. And now it's just trying to dot my I's and cross my T's and get the car where, I mean, you got to get through the bumps. You got to make sure you have traction. It's a balance, and there's 100 different little ingredients you can put in to make the car better or worse. And it's like a chef. I mean, you got to throw everything at it, but if you throw too much, you're going to burn it.
So
there you go.
What would be the biggest thing for you to win the birthday race or some other event?
I'd be happy to win a late model race.
Just a late model race?
Just run.
Pick one, anyone.
Pick one.
Okay. It's good not to have too high of
I
expectations.
mean, I've won some B mains, and I've got a couple of heat race wins, but I need to keep going.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and you're the first in studio guest here in the Ron Miller Race Cars 2.0 studio. So hang out. We got some breaking news. Then we're going to get to Wil Wiggins here. Hold on. Yeah, breaking news. There we go. So I just got this update from Butler Motor Speedway. Apparently, they got some damage from those storms. You know all about that.
Oh yeah, I was cutting down trees today.
Update for this weekend's racing program. About an hour ago, management and a few track personnel assessed the damage that they've received in the past 48 hours due to weather. As of now, they have no power. They're currently running small generators to run the coolers and save the food. Track conditions are not the best, but are savable as of right now. They're going to spend time tomorrow repairing damage from the storms and prepping for Saturday's events, along with waiting for power to be restored at the track. So as of now, they are still planning on running. They will keep you updated on their Facebook. So if I plan to head to Butler Motor Speedway this weekend, make sure.
Palmyra doesn't have power either at the moment.
Are they racing tomorrow?
It's up in the air.
Go-karts, yeah.
Definitely check out Facebook websites of any tracks you plan on going to this weekend. Speaking of which, we have Ryan Weekman going to be giving us that weekend weather pit stop weather forecast coming up as well, which is looking pretty good. Before that, how about we bring in Wil Wiggins here? Will, how's it going?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Wil Wiggins from the Ohio Wheelman Series, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is your title with them? Are you like president?
I own the series, so I started this. I did put on a couple shows last year to see how this would pan out, if guys would support me, and we had one show at Lorraine County Speedway we put on, and we had 33 street stocks, I think, show up. So that was pretty successful. And then we put on another show at Sandusky's Cavalcade last year, and I believe we had close to 20 show up for that. So I got in touch with a few people and a few track owners and promoters and to see if I could put a schedule together. And then I started pounding pavement and getting sponsors to get this deal together. So
sound like Dwayne Hancock with his Attica Fremont Championship Series stuff, going out getting sponsors, putting stuff together. What other, before we get to this weekend's big event at Sandusky, what other tracks does the Ohio Wheelman Series run at for this year? Did you get that scheduled together?
Yeah, so this year we got a couple shows at M40. We've ran one. We've got another one coming up on the 18th of September. We went out there. Drew Jack brought us in. He leased the track for whatever at the time and brought us in. And he said, you guys put on such a great show. I want you back. And so he booked another date with us, I think a day after I got home from traveling back from M40. We had, I believe, 18 guys follow us out to M40, which some of us were 6-7 hour drives. And we put on a great show. I mean, the fans, he said, everybody that walked out said that was the best street stock show they've seen all year. So we were pretty proud of that. We had a lot of success from there. We've been to Killcare. We raced there with the CRA JAG series, late model series. That was a pretty fun show. That was the first time a lot of us have ever even seen that place. So it was interesting. We had to learn how to use half throttle instead of trying to hammer down. So, and we have a big race at Shady Bowl coming up on September 4th. It's $5,500 to win, 75 laps for their 75th year anniversary. And Sandusky Speedway, of course, that's our home track. We have several shows there this year, and they've also booked 4 events with us for next year there already. Let's see. Killcare, M40, Shady Bull, Sandusky, and I believe that's just about our schedule this year. We're hoping to reach out to a few more tracks. I know I've been in touch with Erie, and I know I called a couple guys up there in Toledo this winter when we putting this together, and so hopefully we can get with the car counts we've been carrying and the fan base we draw. Hopefully we can get a couple more awesome shows. So
are the drivers that compete, are they from a specific area in Ohio, or they come from all over?
No, so that's what's so cool about this, and it's actually grown bigger than I ever anticipated, especially being the first year. So I built the rules in between local rules and really CRA rules to try to draw a crowd. I did not expect, like I said, for this to take off like it has, and we are pulling guys. Let's see, I have guys registered from Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and I'm sure I'm probably missing a few surrounding areas, but the bulk of our guys are from all over Ohio. I mean, I couldn't even pinpoint a particular area. It's from one side to the other, so it's pretty spectacular.
So is it this weekend's race at Sandusky? Is this the biggest event for the Ohio Wheelman Series?
This is one of our biggest events.
Okay.
So far, yes, it is the biggest, but I do have some
Something else in the works.
I do have some stuff in the works coming up for that Shady Bull show, so definitely stay tuned. But yes, it is our biggest event of the year thus far. We have, I believe, 37 street stocks pre-registered.
Wow.
Now, you know as well as I do, there's a lot of guys that don't frequent the internet and don't have Facebook, so it's a little tougher to get those guys. I mean, I do personally reach out to a lot of these guys to ensure they're coming before I ever give a number out. It was pretty awesome as this count grew over the last couple of weeks, and it's just continuing to grow. I mean, I just got a call today, this morning, from a guy that hasn't raced a street stock in quite a few years, and somebody's put him in one, I believe. So it's going to be a pretty awesome show. There's some of the biggest names, definitely in Ohio. I'd say that every driver that's anybody in Ohio is going to be at this race. And then we've got some boys that want to, that are coming up from different divisions, the Mass Series and CRA and different other street stock series and show tracks. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
Well, I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. Looking through your rules, the chassis rules are pretty straightforward, but it seems like you've got a lot of options on the engines. What seems to be working best for those guys?
So that's a good question. Most of my guys are running built engines. So we do have about 7 crate engines that follow us. 2 of our shows have been won by crate engines. The rest have been built. So it's kind of pretty even. I mean, I in my opinion, and everybody that I've spoke to, I've kind of nailed these rules. I mean, you always have the naysayers, but our show at M40, the entire field from 1st through 15th was 3/10. So I know I follow racing pretty well, and
that's close.
That's impressive, especially being our first year, our first set of rules. I was pretty proud of that. And then we went to Sandusky, and I believe our field was 7/10, which anybody that's raced there, that's a big half-mile track. So I expected that to grow. Usually guys are, like when we ran last year, there was guys that were 2.5 off with the rules that we ran locally. So I think I tightened it up. I think that it's very competitive, whether you're a low budget racer and have a crate, or you just like the crate engines, or you got money and you can add the horsepower in. I chose a Hoosier Comanche tire as an equalizer. It's not a horsepower tire; it's a setup tire. So it put it back in the drivers' garages rather than in their pockets. And I think that's why the fans love this so much, because they see low budget teams winning. They see, the high end teams winning, and it's competitive. I mean, we're changing first place. I mean, position changes. There's lots of movement going on throughout the field. There's racing from front to back, and everybody's pretty tight. So we've been putting on some great shows. We've ran 300 laps with 5 cautions with all of our events so far, which is pretty impressive. We ran 50 laps from at Killcare with no cautions at all, which was really, really awesome to see. These guys are very respectful with each other. We've got a lot of money in these machines. There's really not any rookies in this series. I mean, most everybody has been racing, several years. Some guys upwards of 30 plus. So they've been around.
How many laps are your features?
So typically we run 50 laps unless it's a special event. Like at Shady Bull, we're running a 75, but all of our features are typically 45 to 50. But 50 is our average. I think that's a good start. I don't want to tear guys' engines up running, hundreds of laps and stuff in a couple of weeks, and it costs money to run more laps. So, I think we've got a good base. We might increase that a little bit. Sandusky's 50 laps is a long race, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
speaking of that, give us a little bit of the background on this Josh Neff Memorial Race. What's that about? How did it all come together, and why is it the most popular stock car race in Ohio as it's being billed?
Well, so my brother Josh is who I built this race around to keep his memory alive. He was probably the biggest racing fan I've ever met in my life, and I'm not just saying that because he's my brother. This man would spend his last couple dollars to get to the track and know he had enough money to pay to get in, and would figure out how to get home, and that's just how he lived. He was a day-to-day guy, and he lived on the seat of his pants. So, but he was at every single Bristol race that was ever in town, whether it was us or whether they did the big deal with CRA or just NASCAR. I mean, he traveled my brother Jeremy around. My brother Jeremy's raced modifieds, late models, CRS trucks, ARCA trucks. I mean, you name it, he's ran it. I mean, he's ran super modified sprint cars. I mean, he's raced everything. And my brother Josh has followed him around his entire career. He was a crew chief on an ARCA team who flew him out to all their events and spotted for him. So he was really good at that. And when he passed, I had to carry on the torch for my brother Jeremy and spot. That was not a position I was ready to take on, but I figured it out, and we ran Bristol, and that was fun. But anyway, so Josh passed away and at 41 years old. And so he was a diehard racer, and I started this to keep his memory alive. And our first show was last year at Lorain County Speedway, and we had 33 street stock show up. We started 31. I had a sponsor come on last minute and pay to start the field. So, which was really cool because I did not make that show with my own car. So I was able to get in that show. And but anyway, so we ran that last year, and it was a huge success. Guys talked about it all winter long. And so I brought it back this year, and with the same purse structure I did last year. And we raised from just families, friends, sponsors. We raised the purse up to over $17,000 for this weekend. First place pays $6,000, and we have bonus money all over the place. Our fast dash for cash is $500 in the purse. We have purses for everything you can think of. These people have donated to, and it's just been extremely awesome to see the love and support towards one event and one family. So. But anyway, it's became a big deal. We've raised over $1,000 in lap money. We've got 10 bikes and scooters that we're giving away to kids in the stands at this event that were donated. We've raised over $300 in change to do a gold rush for the kids and the families that come out. I remember when I was a kid racing, my dad raced in the 80s, Jeremy, and I followed him through the 90s, and now I own 2 street stocks. And I remember the big wheel races. I would prep my big wheel for that thing. I'd spray it down with WD-40 and whatever I got to do, we cut a bicycle tire off and staple it to the wheel to get more traction. So, we were cheating back then, so it was kind of funny, but they'd always laugh at us when we show up with a big wheel. What do you guys got now? We're going to run you through the tech garage, so it was always a joke about it. But, that's what got me into racing later in life is those memories being at the track. So all of our events, we bring candy, checkered flags. I have these guys sign T-shirts. And we just walk through and give them to kids. I just see who's the happiest kid in the crowd. And I walk up to them and make his day, and they'll have that forever. I'm sure. So we do a lot of cool stuff. So in that nature, but the shows turned out to be twice the success of last year. And I hope to continue to keep it growing. So
that event's Saturday night at Sandusky Speedway. Racing starts at 7 p.m.
Yep. Gates open at 3. It's 15 general admission and 30 to get in the pits.
Now, are you racing in this, or do you run the show?
I have 2 cars that I'm bringing. I have mine. I'll be driving the red 48, and then I have one of my buddies here that helps me work on my cars. We got him a car and got it built and finished. We're actually working on it right now, thrashing at the shop. But he'll be there. His name's Stephen Schlee. It's a white and orange 48S. So both my 48 cars will be there this weekend.
So does Chris Mize then? Is he the race control in the tower?
No,
nope. You have your own.
We actually bring our own staff. I mean, I was able to throw some really cool people together, and so we have our own race director, Joe Pugh. Our head tech official is Joe Caranci, who's been around racing a very long time. And then I have several other staff members, Donnie and Amy Cather. They do apparel sales. The other one does tires. Because we do supply our own tires that we carry with us to all of our events. And then I've got Peter Green and his boys. Peter is our pit master, and then his boys do, one of them flies a drone and records our races, and the other one is our photographer, as well as Bill Schwark, who also does photography for us. That way guys get different shots, one from the infield, one from the out, in the stands and pit area of their cars and different views and stuff. So we tried to put together the best staff we could find, and I've got Jeff Baker doing our announcing at this show. Usually it's Dave Wellencheck. So we've got a pretty awesome staff built.
Well, good. You have your own announcer. I get to sit back and watch when you come to Shady Bowl then. I love it.
Yeah, the announcer at Shady Bowl.
The only thing we borrow is a flag man. I haven't tracked one of those down yet. Although I'd love to try it. I don't know how good I'd be, but it looks fun.
Well, I'm guessing that Doug and Chris are pretty happy. Then they get to take a break for most of that.
That's kind of cool. They get to sit back and interact with the fans, or take a breath, eat a burger, whatever. So it works out pretty well. I mean, when we come to Sandusky, I mean, they treat us very well. They ask anything I need, let me know, and they open. When I started this, I mean, Chris and Kevin and they were just open arms. What do you need, Will? This is exactly what street stocks need. My thought is we used to run modifieds every week here in Ohio. Now it's maybe a once a month deal, and street stocks were going that way. I could see it, and I was trying to save the division to be able to run a big show deal and travel around Ohio and local states and keep street stock racing not only competitive but awesome. I remember showing up when there was 30, 40, 50 cars and you had to race your way in or go home. That's what I'm trying to bring back.
So who won last year's race?
My brother Jeremy, actually. And the cool part about that is we had a full field invert, and I believe he started 28th in a field of 31 cars, and in 40 laps he was able to pull it off. And I can tell you what, if you look through my Facebook, there's pictures. He races a 69 Chevelle, and the front end was smashed in. He was caught in some early traffic. In an early accident and about ripped the front end off the car, but luckily the toe did not move. The car was just a little mangled. Hood was lifted and bumper was, the horn was lifted up and whatever. But he was overheating and the clutch was burnt as he finished that race. And we had victory lane. They came out and it was leaking everything you could think of. So he definitely used the car up to win that very first memorial for our brothers. So that was pretty awesome.
Who's going to win this year? Who's your pick?
This is now here, man. I led about 10 laps last year, so
okay.
We'll see. I mean, I'd love to, of course, but this is only my third year ever racing, so I'm racing against some guys that know how to set up a car much better than I do. My brother
does Luther Hurley have a chance at this one? I see there's a bonus on his head.
Who's that? Hurley?
Luther Hurley?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He showed up at M40 and I believe he was the second fastest car in the feature, and that was his first show showing up with us with the Wheelman Series. I think that was the second time he had the car out of the box this year, and so whoever's helping him set up, they at least got a good setup. They caught a setup for that track, so I looked up for him to be up front for sure. I mean, I would put him up.
See on your Facebook page that somebody's putting up $1,000 if he can pick up the win with that crate motor. So that'd be pretty cool. Somebody like that to win.
That's a neat deal that they did, because I know a lot of crate guys are sitting at home watching us some weeks wishing they can run, and really crates are very competitive. Dennis Woods does well. He runs a race one sealed crate engine, and he's won two features. I believe he's been in the top 5 in all 5 of our shows. And then we have Colt Locker. He runs well. He's a great guy. And Brian Smith, he's a great guy. He does well. So we do have some crate guys that are in the top 10 that are always competitive from track to track. So
don't I recognize some of those names from the old Kimmel series?
Yes. So I believe some of these guys have ran with the old Kimmel series. Some of these guys are from Midvale, Lorraine, Painesville, and then, some other series. But, a lot of these guys have, they don't want to race every weekend, or they can't afford to anymore. And, they're looking to race twice a month. And that's exactly what I offer. Big money shows twice a month. I hope to continue on this next year. Our minimum purse this year is $2,000. Our maximum purse so far is $6,000 for 50 laps of racing. I mean, if you own a street stock, you're not switching your car over. I mean, I don't know where you're at.
So if I put a windshield in my my dirt stock car, can I come race?
Well, I'm sure we'd have to look over your car, but there's probably a few things that you guys are allowed, we're not. So, as far as the engine goes, yes, you can run any cubic inch engine. There's penalties based on what you run, frame heights. I mean, we tried to allow everybody to come race. Now, there are some things obviously we just can't allow. It's too much of an advantage, and there's no way to penalize it. And we've tried to work with a lot of guys, and guys that are supporting the series have changed over some stuff. Like we've had a center link issue. Some tracks allow house center links and some don't. We do not. It's got to be a stock center link. So that's one of the issues. we've seen on a few cars, and those guys, they think the series is awesome and they want to support us. So they've all bought and made their correct changes to be able to run with us. So we definitely appreciate the support as we build this. And, we do have drivers meetings, we'll have this winter, and we'll open ears and see what we can do to make it better. And hopefully we can grow on this year.
All right, Will. Well, we appreciate you giving the time. Give us some background on the Josh Neff Memorial this weekend at Sandusky Speedway Big Race and the Ohio Wheelman Series. And I don't know if you know this, you probably don't, but a lot of our guests go on to win their next event. So Saturday night could be your night.
That's right. Well, awesome. I appreciate you guys having me on. Kevin said, "Hey, is there anything I can do to help you or do for you?" And I said, "Yeah, if you can help me win that feature." He said, "Oh, I don't know if I could do that."
Well, if you win, we'll have you on next week to talk about it.
I appreciate you guys having us on tonight. So,
all right, we appreciate you coming on, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks a lot, and good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
All right, see ya.
I gotta go.
Everybody's leaving
I
now.
know.
Will Wiggins there
I'm
for
out.
the Ohio
See ya.
Wheelman Series. Oh, hey now. Yep, I'm out too. We're leaving. You're not going to win at Big D's Pizza then.
Oh man, no, I'll stick around for that.
Here, we'll do this. We'll remove Steve. We'll see you. Thanks for coming on,
I
Steve.
appreciate you having me on.
See
If anyone wants to help me out, money wise or help on the car, stop on by, throw some money, or turn a wrench.
There you go.
Bye.
See you. Steve Miller there. And he's helped on the Ocho too. I broke a bolt off. He's really good at getting broken bolts out.
Yeah, that's one of my unfortunate talents.
That's what
So we got the Professor Steve Miller and the Wizard.
the wizard.
Professor
That's it.
Ron Miller and the Wizard Steve Miller. There you go.
There you go. Let's check out our Twitter poll results here real quick, which I think I can do with this. There. Oh, that's it. Let's go this one. What? What?
There-
What?
no.
What?
Did you find it?
Yeah,
Oh, there it
I think
is.
so.
There. Is that tab or that? Where's that one?
Except for now, I can't get back to this. Oh, this Microsoft Edge thing. I'm used to Chrome.
Oh,
There we go. There it is. So this week's Hammer Down Racing Report Twitter poll. That was way too difficult to get to. What was the most important factor that you take into consideration before picking a track to attend? It's for both racers and fans. The choices were admission and pit prices, which only 5.9% chose that one. Also 5.9% for how much the races pay.
Oh,
And distance, how far away the track is, that's only 17% of the people take that in consideration. The big thing, though, is what classes are racing.
really?
That is, I guess, what determines where people go. So, are there sprint cars at this track? I'm going to go to that track. Are there late models at that track? I'm going to go to that track. Is the Ohio Wheelman Series at that track? I'm going to go to that track. So, interesting.
is Scott Hammer running at this track?
There you
I'm gonna
go.
to a different-
I'm going to go to a different track. Yes. Before we get to Big D's, how many or a chance to win a Big D's Pizza? I got to mention Ron Miller Race Cars. Give him a call, 734-856-7223. I've spent a lot of money with him this week. He's got all kinds of parts, safety equipment, service, everything a racer. He welded my car back together. It was falling apart.
I got some of the guys from Shady Bowl I know that are watching tonight. If you guys know anybody that's looking to get Crown Vics done, getting roll cages done for the 2022 season, give Ron Miller Race Cars a call that he can take care of you on that as well.
Yeah, we can.
734-856-7223. It'll scroll across the bottom here in a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's 856 race in case you
Oh, that's right. I
need the
forgot about that.
need the shortcut.
734-856-RACE. Except for most phones don't really have the letters on them anymore. There it is. Here it comes. There's the Ron Miller number down. This is hard to point. Over there. There it is. Last week's how many was how many bombers were going to be at Oakshade Raceway this past weekend? There were 39. Do you know how many Ron picked?
39.
Yeah, he picked 39.
Woohoo!
So Ron was our in-show winner. Our listener winner was Chad Wonderly, who actually picked 39 as well. Was the only one to.
Hey, good job,
Congratulations,
Chad.
So-
Good job, Chad.
Yeah. So he gets himself a Big D's Pizza. Just need to get with Dean Henry or myself, and I'll hook him up with Dean Henry, and we'll get him hooked up with the Big D's pizza, which sounds really good right about now.
Yes, it does.
I had a couple of waffles before I came over, just so I had something to eat. This weekend's how many, which apparently I forgot to pick. I was going to do something, and then I got distracted today. So let's see. What should this week's how many be? How many street stocks at Josh Neff Memorial?
Ooh, that could be a toughie too.
It could.
That could be.
Let's do that. Let's do that. How many street stocks will be at Sandusky on Saturday night for that Josh Neff Memorial? Street stocks at Sandusky Saturday night. So I'm writing this down. So if you want to play along, go ahead and put your guess in the comments of our YouTube live video or our Facebook live video, and you can do this if you're listening to us on the podcast on any platform. All right, I'm better now. You can still put your guess in. Just go find this broadcast on our Facebook page and guess up until, say, noon on Saturday.
Yeah.
So if you're not listening to us on a Thursday night, you can do it up until Saturday then. So we got a YouTube guest there. So let's see, we got 21, 45. They're kind of ranging all over there. So Ron, you were last week's winner. What do you got?
Oh man, I get the distinct privilege of going first. 37.
That might be a good guess. I like that. Jerry.
I'm going to undercut you, Ron. I'm going 36.
Oh. That's the bad part about going first.
I'm going to undercut you and go 35.
Oh, we've got Jerry in a box.
I want to say 38, but I don't know. 36 and 37 sound pretty good.
Yeah. It could just. I can tell you here. I'll help your guess. Shady Bowl is not running street stock Saturday, so there will be no competition from us.
Okay. We have Ryan Weekman coming up with that forecast here momentarily. Before we do that, let's check out this weekend's Big D's racing menu. Tomorrow night, Toledo Speedway. It's the school bus figure 8 deal with Ken Schrader. Late model sportsman be in action, as well as factory stocks, figure 8s. That's regular figure 8s, not the school bus, but both of them. There'll be school bus and the regular figure 8s, plus boat figure 8s and flagpole. There's going to be a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow night, Toledo Speedway.
More insanity.
Yes. Pits open at 4:00. Front gates open at 5:30. Racing at 7:30 at Toledo Speedway. $18 general admission for that. And they do have a rain date, but Sunday. It'll be Sunday if they need to exercise that rain date, but I don't think they're going to need it.
Don't steal Ryan's thunder.
I'm not going to. Oakshade Raceway on Saturday night. We got a bunch of choices here Saturday night. Oakshade has that Oakshade Attica Late Model Challenge Series event. We got rained out. Was that a couple weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was supposed to be. So that's going to be taking place this weekend. And Sportsman Bombers Compact's all back in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7, general admission $14 at Oakshade. Also Saturday night, Flat Rock Speedway. It's kids night. 12 and under get in free. They get a free hot dog and a soft drink. And I already said their admission. They get in free. Outlaw Super late models there at Flat Rock. Street stocks, late model sportsman. Pits open at 2:30. Front gates at 4:30. And racing at 7:00 there at Flat Rock. $15 general admission. Shady Bowl Speedway. It's also kids night. There's a lot of kids
we were supposed
night.
to go last Saturday, and Ryan told us we'd have to be really, 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 really unlucky to have anybody get rained out. Well, yeah.
It happened. That's true. He did say that last week. Meet and greet the drivers as well at Shady Bowl. Modified Madness number 4. Thunder and Lightning race number 4. Maybe if you don't name races after weather, you won't have weather. I don't know.
Yeah.
Modifieds, Thunder Cars, Crown Vics, Compacts. There's going to be an Enduro as well, 225 laps.
225 lap Enduro.
Big wheel races.
Big wheel races for the kids and adults.
Oh, yeah.
Have all kinds of
and candy
book bag
scramble.
giveaways, candy scramble for the kids. We're going to have so much fun. Hero cards have even been made for me. So I get to sign some autographs and give some hopefully make some fans happy. And
Gates open at 4, racing at 7 o'clock. General admission is $15 there at Shady Bowl. A lot going on. Fremont Speedway in action with Industrial Resourcing Group Night. Fast 410 sprints, the Boss non-wing sprints, 305 sprints, and the dirt trucks. 4 classes in action at Fremont on Saturday. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. $18 is your general admission there. Sandusky Speedway, as we talked about, the Josh Neff Memorial Race, $6,000 to win, $200 to start, featuring the Ohio Wheelman Series street stocks. Pure stocks also in action, Renegades and beginner stocks. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. $12 general admission there for that 6,000 to win show. So that's pretty good.
Wow, that's cool. That's awesome.
Montpelier Motor Speedway in action with Modified Mania. $1,200 to win for the modifieds. Super stocks, compacts in action. Gates open at 4:45, racing at 7:30. General admission $12 there at Montpelier, Indiana Motor Speedway. And that is your Big D's racing menu for this weekend. Let's check out our weekend weather pit stop with Mr. Ryan Weekman.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Looking forward to a fun event Friday night at Toledo Speedway with the school bus figure 8, among the other races as well. Now, do be aware, I do think rain is going to happen on Friday, especially during the morning and maybe even lingering into the early afternoon. But by race time at 7:30, we should be drying out. A north breeze is going to be dropping. Humidity should be good for us for the most part here, as long as we get that rain out of here, which at this point does look likely. Saturday is the day where all races are looking really good for us. Oakshade, Flat Rock, Shady Bowl, Fremont, and Sandusky all looking nice for us here. Humidity levels much lower. Temperatures only in the low 80s in the afternoon. Race starts at 7 p.m. for all of those. Temperatures will likely be in the 60s. Really comfortable conditions compared to the hot, muggy weather that we have had over the last week. Also, most importantly, looking dry. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Don't forget, get that First Alert weather app. We'll keep you ahead of any storms later on in the season. Hope you have a great weekend of racing.
There he goes. Ryan Weekman, the fastest weatherman in the Toledo area. I'll give that to him. I'll let him use that.
I don't know. Norv Van Ness might argue that.
Yeah, but he's retired.
He's
though.
retired.
He's retired. Okay, fair enough.
The fastest active weather-man.
Okay, fair. That's better.
All right.
And
Thanks.
it has the best Christmas album cover ever.
Yes, he does. That's what he uses on his official Facebook. If you follow him, meteorologist Ryan Weekman. That's his
Facebook page.
That's his Facebook profile, for not his personal one, but for doing the weather. So, and that's the picture he used. So that's what I used. He's
That's
a fun
awesome.
guy. He's a great guy.
He seems very cool.
Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, and field correspondents, Matt Swander, Doug Dock. Next week on the show, as we mentioned, we'll have Craig Dittman, street stock bomber driver, and also putting on that Dittman Motorsports show at Oakshade Raceway. Hopefully, I'm sure he'll have things finalized by then as far as everything that's going on, extra pay, trophies, maybe some special races, extra qualifying.
Never short on words, so that show could run long.
Yeah, we may just have one guest next week, and it may be the same length as this one. You never know. Oh, crap. I almost forgot. We have one more thing to do. We got the Hammer Down Hotline to finish off the show this week. Yeah. How about we do that, get that out of the way, and then we'll get on out of here. If you'd like to leave us a message before we get to that, give us a call anytime, 419-318-3081. You can call anytime, day or night. To be on the show, though, you probably have to do it about at least 2 hours before the show, so I have time to actually take care of it. Jerry. Just saying.
What?
But feel free to call anytime. You can call right after we get off the air here. Saturday, Sunday at 4 a.m. in the morning. You want to call? Go for it. It doesn't ring anywhere. It just goes to a voicemail, so it's all good. So this is what we got for this week's Hammer Down Hotline, and it does have to do with a hammer.
Yeah, this is for the Hammer Hotline. My hammer broke. I was nailing a nail, and the hammer. You gotta see the nail. It didn't go all the way in, but when I hit it, the hammer broke. So I need to know what kind of hammer is we? I don't get why the hammer broke.
Yeah. So wrong kind of hammer down hotline, but there you go.
I thought that was Donnie Baker for a minute. I swear to God.
Kind of. I think he's kind of going for that kind of thing.
Yeah, he kind of had that rhythm to his cadence.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We'll be back next week, like I said, with Craig Dittman. Tune in live, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, 7:00 Thursday night, every Thursday night. Thanks again to all of our sponsors, especially Oakshade Raceway, our presenting sponsor, Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Freeze Frame Photos. Make sure to check out HammerdownRacingReport.com. And don't forget to leave us a message on the Hammerdown hotline. Not about hammers. I mean, you can. You can. You really. I don't want to censor anybody.
You can leave a message about anything.
There you go, and we'll play it back as evidence that we just did. So there you go. That's 419-318-3081. If you need that number, Hammerdown Racing Report. I almost said HammerdownHotline.com. HammerdownRacingReport.com. All the information you need, it's on there. So
before we go, Steve Schloes has been trying to get in touch with you about sponsoring.
He keeps saying he's going to call me, and he hasn't.
He says he has.
He did call me. Well, my phone was dead this week.
Yeah, it could be.
So,
reach out to him on Facebook.
All right,
Steve
I'll reach out to him again. Yes.
Next week, also an update on my pavement debut. Finally going to happen this Saturday, weather permitting.
Jerry's big debut.
Debut, yes. Big debut.
Something else I forgot to mention. We could just go on forever. Dirt is my glitter photo thing. They take photos out of Oakshade, and I guess they do a driver of the week thing. And Roscoe Stetton was the driver of the week last week and nominated me. So I got to talk with the person that does that, and it's a pretty cool deal. She does this every week, and I picked the next driver of the week. So I'm not going to tell you who that is, but.
Scott, you had a really great show last week. Your heat race was spectacular, up against some tough competition. You were really held your own.
Fifth on the feature, yeah.
Held your own in the feature.
Against Schilt, folks. You guys, the Mueller bomber class up at Oaks. Yeah. Wow. So yeah. Now you got to top it this week.
I replaced the right rear tire for the first time this year. That's what I'm attributing
and
it to.
There was a secret adjustment that I made while I was welding your bracket on the right rear, so I'm not telling you.
Yeah, that's what my crew chief said too, and I was like, okay, right. It did handle real good though, so whatever you did, awesome. Thank you.
I told you.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it's dinner time, folks.
Oh, it's
good luck, guys. Time. You be safe racing this weekend.
You too, man.
Have fun.
Hey, you were on the show. We expect to win.
Yep, you were on the show.
Jimmy said if I don't win now, I'm getting fired since I'm on the show. So you guys really screwed me now.
I think that's valid. I think those expectations are there.
All right. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the W.
All right, we'll have you on the show next week as our guest as well.
All right, sounds good.
There it is.
We're out. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
You have been listening to the Hammerdown Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.